Long time no see, Amy. Are you still alive?
Jack?
Yo, what's up?
What do you mean, yo? You didn't come home this Christmas again. This is the 6th year you haven't come. It's alright, even if it's just for a day. Just come visit us once in a while.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'll visit you guys this weekend.
What? Really? Does that mean you'll be living here again?
Yep.
But what are you going to do about work? There's no way you'll be able to commute 4 hours to work every day. Wait, did you change jobs?
No, that's not it.
Then why?
Obviously it's because I quit.
What? You quit? But didn't you graduate a famous university and get a job at a huge company? You even boasted so much when you got the job.
Well, you see, I made a huge fortune investing in stocks.
What? Stocks?
Yep, I've gotten so good at it that I could become a day trader if I wanted. It seems that not only was I talented, I was actually a genius.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
I knew you were smart, but becoming a day trader can't be that easy. Did you actually study how to trade stocks?
I learned it by actually doing it.
And what did you do?
I started trading stocks at the market and learned on my way.
That sounds pretty risky.
Yeah, but it worked out since I'm a genius.
Judging by how you're talking about this, I assume you've been doing this for a while now? When did you start?
2 months ago?
What? Just 2 months?
Yep, I really must be a genius if I can figure out how to trade stocks in just 2 months.
No way. There's no way you can learn how to trade stocks in just 2 months.
Why? Do you have experience trading stocks?
No, but...
Then quit trying to lecture me.
But why do you have to quit your other job?
It's fine. If I say it's alright, it's alright. I'm a genius, remember? If you keep bothering me, I'm not gonna help you when you need any money, alright?
Anyways, it's decided that you'll be returning here?
Yep. I already cancelled the contract with my current apartment.
Got it. Your room's the same way it was 6 years ago when you left. So just clean it up and move in there, okay?
What? Just do it for me, please, Amy.
I'm pretty busy myself.
It's hard to believe you when you're not even married, live in your parents' house, and don't even have a boyfriend.
Shut it. You're already an adult, right? You should be able to clean up your own room.
I got it. I'll be bringing my stuff on the truck this weekend, so open up a place to park for me, alright?
Fine. Take care.
Are you outside, Amy? I wanted to ask you for help carrying my stuff.
Oh, you're already there? You had a key?
Yeah, so I just opened the door and went in. Where are you?
I was suddenly called to work and had to go to the office. I'll be home by evening.
Is that so? Where are Mom and Dad?
Those two are... well, it's the usual.
What do you mean? Actually, who cares? Just help me when you get home, alright?
Actually, I'll probably still have to work, so I won't be able to help.
You know what? You keep talking about work, but aren't you an unemployed woman living with her parents?
What?
You're lying about work, aren't you? You're just killing time outside since you don't want to help me.
I don't know what idea you have in your head, but it's true that I have a job, you know.
What?
I just work from home most of the time. I just had to go out today to talk in person to my client.
What? That sounds so much like a lie.
Why?
You always mention how you text Mom and Dad. Haven't you been living at their house for the past 6 years ever since you quit the last company you worked for? I'm saying that it's embarrassing that my sister, who's already in her 30s, is still depending on her parents.
Oh, so that's what they said about me. I'm not even unemployed. I just work from home.
That's the excuse people like you always give.
Anyways, the neighbors know that I work from home, so there's really no need to be embarrassed.
That's just what you think. Besides, there's no way to get a job that lets you work from home if you didn't even go to college. Things like that can only be done by people with a certain level of smarts and skills.
But I do have some skills.
These skills you're talking about are probably the type that no company is ever gonna want. Which is why you must actually be unemployed.
Why do you have zero understanding for people who work from home? Aren't you younger than me? That head of yours must be getting old. Are you alright?
You've got some courage saying that to me, the genius.
It's fine if you return home, just don't bother my work.
Bother you? You're the one who needs to get an actual job and stop being a bother, Amy. I don't care whether you're poor and have no income. I'm not gonna be lending you any of my money.
I said I have a job!
Alright, I see how it is. I'll make some food, okay?
I told you, I won't be home until evening.
Seriously? I only ate instant ramen for breakfast, so I'm really hungry.
Jesus. Well, it's obvious you haven't been eating well. There's some stir-fried vegetables in the fridge left over, so eat that.
What? Stir-fried vegetables? How lame.
You don't have to eat it if you don't want to.
Fine.
Oh, be sure to ask Dad first if you're going to drink the beer. He gets really mad if you just drink it without asking.
Alright. Could you leave the house already?
What? What's this about suddenly?
I'm sick of having to pay for someone who doesn't have a job.
Are you talking about me?
Who else would I be talking about?
And what about you? What are you doing in your room all day?
I'm checking stock values. I need to monitor the market to determine which stocks will be profitable. This is my job.
Is that actually alright? Making a living off of stock trading seems even harder than working from home.
It's fine. I'm a genius after all.
I, for one, think that you should be more careful, though.
I said I'm fine. I'm not gonna fail.
I see. Well, I've got to attend a meeting, so I'll be leaving the house. There's curry in the fridge if you want something to eat for lunch.
Got it.
Jack! Is this your doing?
What is it?
My stuff's outside the house!
Yeah, that was me. Me plus Mom and Dad.
What?
I talked to Mom and Dad about kicking you out of the house, since you don't even have a job of your own. They strongly agreed to my plan. You were planning on moving all your stuff outside the house while you were outside. Everything in your room's right there.
What? Why you? How many times do I have to tell you that I have a job?
They said to take the stuff by tomorrow morning. You better take it away as soon as possible. Oh, we changed the house keys, so you won't be able to come in anymore.
So you really do want to kick me out, huh?
The way you say it is a bit harsh. I just want you to become an actual adult that contributes to society, Amy. So I'm just making it so that you'll have to.
What are you going to do with the house?
The rent is no problem. After all, I'm a rich genius.
Okay. So you really want me to leave?
Yep, definitely. Oh, is it that you're in trouble since you got no place to go? I mean, you are the person who lived off of a parent's money for the last 6 years. So I guess it was to be expected. Fine, I'll give you 10 cents and get out of the house already, will you? Don't come back.
So does that mean you're cutting ties with me? Thanks.
What do you mean by that? Why do you sound happy?
Take care of him for me, will you? Oh, I don't need the 10 cents.
What are you talking about?
Bye then.
What? I thought you'd be more sad. Amy? Amy! Something terrible's happened, what should I do?
I thought you guys cut ties with me.
The value of the stocks went down in value hard.
Stocks? Are you talking about the stocks you bought?
Yes, it was fine until yesterday, but then suddenly, I woke up and checked the stock values and they had dropped enormously.
Are you talking about A Engineering?
What? How do you know?
Haven't you been watching the news?
The news?
I only skimmed through an article, so I don't really know the details, but they've been talking about how there's been an incident within the company since last night.
Seriously?
I don't know much about stocks, but aren't stock values heavily influenced by the current situation of the company?
So that's why the value suddenly dropped?
Probably.
Oh, what a mess.
And why'd you contact me? I forgot to block you. But stop contacting me, will you? I thought you cut ties with me.
I need money!
What?
Things have turned into a real mess ever since the values of my stocks dropped.
What do you mean?
I decided to take a risk and invest a large amount of money, so I got a loan of 40k.
Seriously? You're in that much debt?
Yep, but I have no way of giving it back, so please give me some money. It seems that even though you were poor and unemployed, you had enough money to find a new house. You got some money, right?
I do have the money, but I'm not giving you any.
What?
Why should I give someone I cut ties with any money?
I'll apologize for kicking you out of the house. Even if you're unemployed, you can still find a job while living at this house.
How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not unemployed? Aren't you the one who needs to find a job?
Huh?
The rent costs 1K per month at that house. But Mom and Dad just spend the whole day at the casino and don't have a job, so...
What, Dad doesn't have a job?
You didn't know?
But doesn't he leave the house in the morning every day saying he's off to work?
Apparently he considers gambling a profession.
What?
Hey, Jack. You don't know that our late grandfather and I were the ones who paid for your college tuition and not Mom and Dad, do you?
Really? What do you mean?
You see, our family depended on our late grandfather who owned his own business for money before I got a job. Once he was gone, Mom and Dad immediately used up all of the money they received as inheritance on gambling. I've been supporting the family since 3 years back. But for some reason, Mom and Dad still think they're living off of the inheritance money. They won't believe it when I tell them that they're living off of the money I earn working. Which is why, now that I'm gone, you'll either have to support them on your own or convince them to start working.
Please come home, Amy!
What? Why?
It's bad enough that I lost my stocks and now in debt, but I have to support Mom and Dad as well. Just get a job and be enough.
I have no intention of returning.
Why? I'm begging you!
Aren't you the one who kicked me out?
I said I'll apologize! Besides, how do you plan on making a living when you don't even have a job?
I'm honestly curious what kind of brain this genius, who after hearing everything I said still believes that I'm unemployed, has. But I'm actually a freelance web designer.
Huh?
I'm actually pretty busy. I've got work I need to do before the deadline, so I really don't have the time to be texting you.
Amy?
Goodbye for real this time. I found out later on from a relative as to why Jack started trading stocks. Apparently, he had a colleague who was an expert and made a huge profit after following his advice. He got hooked and bought some more stocks and was lucky enough to make another huge profit. But that was the end of his luck. He must have thought he had a talent for it and quit his old job without thinking about the future. Jack now supports mom and dad at their house with multiple part-time jobs. He's got his own debt to pay on top of that, so obviously he has no time off. Now that I'm gone, no one in that house does any housework anymore. It's basically a garbage dump now. It's a rented house, so they'll probably be kicked out. Which is what a relative said while sighing.
Ken, thank you for going through and examining everything for us. Everyone within the company is very pleased with your work, and even the higher-ups are talking a lot now. I had never wanted to work with you, Ken. And it made me upset having you around with us since we should be able to handle this work on our own. But the work you have put in has helped us a lot so far, and I look forward to eventually getting this project completed. Well, I still have to talk with some of my people about all of this. So I can't say everything for now, but I don't want any of my work to affect you after you and I have known one another since high school. So I plan to do only what I can here without it becoming a problem. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad to see that you're still so considerate of me. And another thing, your wedding is coming up soon, right? Congratulations on that. Have you gotten the invitation from me yet? I feel a bit embarrassed asking that, actually. And I have already invited a bunch of other people from back in high school. So I bet this will feel more like a class reunion than an actual wedding for everyone. A class reunion, huh? There's no problem with that. I'm looking forward to this wedding class reunion. If this whole business discussion that we've had ends up falling through in the end, you and I are still friends, right? Of course, man. I'm not gonna get work mixed up in our personal life, okay? Thank you, Ken. I'm the kind of guy that likes to regard all of his friends as more important than his work, actually. No, I'll be looking forward to that wedding of yours. And I'll make sure to reply to your invitation before then.
Can I talk with you for a moment, Ken?
This must be Joshua's wife, right?
That's right. I plan to have a surprise ready for him, and so I've made a group chat for all of us to discuss it in. And in that group chat, I heard a few things about you from someone. Is it true that you never went to college?
Yes.
Well, if that's really the case for you, then I think it may be a mistake having you at the wedding. What do you think?
Can you tell me what all of this is about right now? I did skip out on going to college, but...
Well, Ken, you do realize that Joshua is part of the elite, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I think out of all my friends from back in high school, he was the one that tried his hardest.
Then, do you think you can take a moment to think about who you are compared to him?
Who am I compared to him?
There's no way a high school graduate would ever be friends with someone that's elite, right? And you think that you can come to his wedding when you're not his real friend? Well, that's ridiculous, right?
Wait, what? Is this you trying to say that because I never went to college, you don't want me coming to your wedding?
Well, to say it straight, yes. I want to know why you think you can even come to the wedding. And what would you even do if you came?
I never thought I'd be told something like that. Mariah, are you sure it wasn't just Joshua that told you I graduated from high school and finished my education there?
He wasn't the one that told me.
So that means he's not the one telling you these sorts of things, and making you feel as though you need to mess with me for it. Well, if he has nothing to do with this, and hasn't said anything about me not going to college, then don't you think you should stay out of it, considering you're not my friend?
Shut up, Ken. You're just a garbage loser.
Excuse me?
I went through and checked to see where everyone graduated from college. And I had heard from a friend in that surprise group chat about you. But I never thought that in his group of all his good buddies, you were there and never even managed to get a higher education. If you were to come to our wedding as the loser you are, then the whole wedding would go to waste. You don't want to ruin your friend's important wedding, do you? Well, if you don't want to, then give up on coming and stay away.
Give up on coming? But I was given an invitation by Joshua to be there. I've already called and said that I'll be coming. And so I have a seat prepared for me.
Then call and say you're not feeling too well and that you can't come, or something like that. If you can't make up some kind of excuse, then just don't show up and say nothing.
I will not do something so rude.
Are you not aware that you coming to the wedding would be way more rude of you?
No. You stop all of that, please. I've never heard of anyone telling a guest they can't come to their wedding because they never went to college. I'm happy that you're worried about Joshua that much, but if you keep trying to get me to stay away, I'm gonna have to tell him.
If you come to the wedding, you're going to regret it, surely. So I think you should stop now before you become more embarrassed than you've ever been before.
I'm done talking now.
You idiot. By now you have to understand me, right? A loser that's never gone to college should never come to this wedding.
Don't you feel like you've gone too far now as the bride? You just poured beer all down my head and body because you think it's okay to look down on me?
Well, you are a loser, right? And my husband does not need to be friends with a low-life garbage.
I know that you're on your high chair now thinking you've won, but was there really any merit to you doing this? This is a bit difficult to ask, but don't you feel like a huge idiot yourself now?
Say whatever you'd like, Ken. I'm married to an elite man and will become a celebrity myself now in his world. And now that we are going to become a power couple, we have to rethink who our true friends should be. We wouldn't want people that are scummy to be around my husband and I in case they ever start coming to us asking for our large amounts of money or something. So that's why I'm making sure we cut ties with all his loser friends right now.
So this is you trying to protect Joshua from me? Or rather, you're trying to protect his money? Do you think by doing this, Joshua will be happy with you?
You losers are all so annoying to talk to.
And do you think anyone that's never been to college is an automatic loser? I think you, finding that someone who's never gone to college to be a loser, is a bit immature of you.
Say whatever you want to, as you've already lost. My elite husband will have no friends that never choose to make themselves useful in this society. Having beer spilled all over you should have opened your eyes to that, and now you can leave, right?
Then, I'm gonna do as you wish and go home.
I won't.
I was in the middle of handling Joshua's company's finances and properties. But you could tell him that I'll be ending my work with him for good now.
Huh?
I'll let him know myself as well, but you should also let him know the good news. Tell him that you poured beer all over his friend and partnering company's CEO. Then tell him to leave, as well as ruin his chances of creating any sort of business between the two companies.
Hold on a sec. What are you saying? Poured beer all over his partner company's CEO?
I'm talking about myself. I'm the CEO of his company he was partnering with. Understand?
What the hell are you talking about? There is absolutely no way a loser that never went to college and got a degree could ever become a CEO.
Well, I have become one. I was the one that started this company, and did so well with my work that it's huge now. And because of all my work, I live a life where I don't have to be called a loser, or a lowlife. As everyone else was using their money and loans to go to college and get a higher education there, I used my money and time to make a company, and put all my blood and sweat into it.
Wait a second, are you serious? You are an actual CEO?
That's right, Mariah. And Joshua was given a project that requires a lot of work, and was asked to partner with my company to start looking into how to get that project completed, with all our combined strengths. And while him and I were working on discussing things like the finances going into the work, he invited me to come to his wedding. But now I'm gonna have to cancel all our talks about partnering up, after what you've done.
Huh? Cancel your talks? What do you mean by all of that?
A lot of the people at the wedding are involved with those talks, and the project that's supposed to be worked on. But now that I'm not willing to do any more work with Joshua and his company, this was a huge loss. I'm sure when they hear the news of that here soon, they'll all walk out of the wedding as well. And I don't blame them, considering they'll have just lost a chance to make some major income with my company's help.
You're lying, right? There's no way this is anything other than a prank, right?
Why would I joke about this? I already told your husband, by the way. I told him that our talks are over.
Wait, Ken? He is really pissed with me right now. He's going off about how he's going to have this whole wedding canceled now and all that. That makes no sense.
It makes total sense, Mariah. Because of you, you just ruined a huge business deal. And I'm sure this is gonna cause him a great deal of trouble now when he has to go in and talk with his boss about this. And any chance of him getting a promotion or raise is out the window now. So him being pissed about all of this is totally normal.
So that's the reason? Why? I never knew a thing about the work you did in your position there. That's the only reason I was a small bit rude to you.
A small bit, you say? Are you sure about that? I feel you were more than a small bit rude to me, Mariah.
But that was all because of me being a bit rude, right? None of what happened between you and I had anything to do with his job.
And one could definitely see it that way.
So don't treat this as a reason to punish him and get back to making that business deal.
But I'm the kind of business owner that finds a relationship among people as very important. I was working with the company he's in to help make my company some money. But I was also doing it because he's an old friend of mine from high school. But seeing that you're the kind of woman he's willing to be married to, I don't think I want to work with him any longer. So I'm going to stop all efforts to make any deal with him, and will not be around to aid in his company's project.
You can't just do that to him because of someone like me, though. I just thought that you were some kind of low-life idiot, and...
And you used that as your excuse to pour beer all over me? You really thought it was okay to do something as rude as that then, huh? That kind of thinking is a real shame.
I didn't mean for things to end up this way, though. Right now, Joshua knows about what's happened and is really considering ending this whole wedding. If he goes through with it, then my special day will be ruined. And I bet that he'll even want to end things between him and I.
Well, if that's what he'd like, then I'll support him.
What are you saying? You're a jerk, Ken. Don't you want to become good friends with him again and get to know me a bit more now? This is all your fault for all this happening, so you should be trying to save things between us now.
Oh, please. Was I the one talking down to myself and pouring beer all over my head today? You acting like not knowing the kind of person I am was a good excuse for doing all that is not going to work. Is pouring beer onto someone you don't know normal to you, Mariah?
Even still, I was worried like hell about things. I wanted to make sure that my wedding would be perfect, but you were here.
So you thought pouring beer on me would make your wedding perfect? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. What would you like me to do?
Come back here and make everyone calm down.
Huh? Me?
Tell them that you spilled that beer on yourself and that I'm a great person. And then follow up by saying you'll continue to work on the business deal and that this wedding should get back underway. If you tell them all that, they'll listen, right? Explain that this was all a misunderstanding.
You know that everyone is aware that this is what you wanted, right? Now, I'll be going.
Wait! Are you really planning to leave me behind when I'm in this much trouble?
Leave you behind? I was never with you in the first place, right? Do you not remember what you've done to me today?
Please, just forgive me. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this wedding gets back on track.
Oh, is that so?
Joshua is an elite employee working for an amazing company. I already bragged about being with him to all my friends and family. And now my friends and family have been bragging about me to other people. They all think of me as the girl that was chosen by a man with a lot of money.
Mariah, that to me seems like you only want to marry him because of his money and job.
Huh?
You want to be with him because you could brag, right? You could brag all you want because he's an elite, right? I'm sure that someone like you will even end up cheating on him one day.
What the hell are you talking about? If he and I end up getting a divorce, it'll be all your fault. It's because you told everyone that the business deal was off that this is all happening.
Well, if that's what you think, why did you go ask Joshua what he thinks? If you both think the same thing, that I'm to blame for all of this, then I'll be willing to make things right again for you both. But I don't think he sees it that way. I'm sure he won't divorce you though, because he still loves you. That's why he married you. So really, it's you that wants to leave him now because he'll have no chance of getting a promotion and making even more money, right? Maybe it's time you go have that chat with him, Mariah.
Can you please just come here and help us figure this all out?
No, thank you.
Why not? I'm asking you to help me and you're saying no thank you?
What you did today was completely stupid, and you need to be punished for that. And I will not help you avoid said punishment.
You won't help me. You're lying, right? I was finally going to start my dream life as a married woman.
You go and try your best talking with your now upset husband, okay? I'm not going to be seeing you anymore now, I believe. But you should be pretty upset with yourself for calling me a low-life loser, because I never went to college, right? Even though I'm really on the same level, if not higher than your elite husband, right? If you have really had all that time to judge others and have such a bias, then maybe you should have used that time to make yourself into a better person. Good luck trying to find another man to marry you after this.
In the end, Mariah and Joshua didn't even bother talking things through, and the wedding was called off, leaving all the guests that arrived even more upset. Joshua spoke with his family about what happened, and they all agreed that she was only with him because of his money, and so he ended up divorcing her. After the divorce was finalized, Joshua went back to Ken to tell him he was thankful for helping him open his eyes to the true person that Mariah was, and made sure that they were both still friends. Ken did cancel the talks their companies had with one another, but now that Mariah was no longer with Joshua, Ken got back to work making an agreement between them to work on that project. And this time, it seems like those talks will work out and a contract will be formed. It really was a great thing that the marriage between Joshua and Mariah fell apart. As for Mariah, after the divorce, she no longer had a place to call home, and her parents kicked her out as well, so she's been having to live on the streets now. Such a poor thing, but that's the punishment she needed to be rewarded with.